Hi guys, this is Gravity Karma for LPU, and what I've got for you here is a Fichet 484. So this is a fantastic lock, and it's got a real ray gun kind of a key to it. Look at that, isn't that great? Now, it looks quite intimidating, it's got a hell of a bitting, but actually only 3 points on this side and 2 on this side are actually activating any pins, and the same here. Actually got 3 here and 2 here, so that is 3 pins top right and bottom left, and 2 top left and bottom right. Now I say pins, they're actually levers, but let's talk about that as we go. Custom tension there, look, it's a bit of 1.6mm wire ground to fit, just to sit in there nicely. So with a bit of tension on and starting to pick, we can talk about the fact that actually these levers, these pins, or the pins rather, are actually levers that with a kind of a ball bearing on the top of them. But I call them pins because they pick. The whole thing picks like a pin tumbler lock, in that you're reaching in and you're manipulating those those kind of things in the same way as you would if they were just sliding. So the fact that they're actually a lever rotating around doesn't really make any odds. The bit that I suppose is different is that you have to lift them until the sidebar in each side engages with a with the true and not a full skate. And actually the true and the full skates on this are really quite savage. They're very difficult to get out of full skates, so it can really help to know the lock really quite intimately. And so you can do what I've just done there, which is skip over a couple of full skates. Now, to get to know where those full skates are either takes a lot of practice, or you can take the thing apart and have a good look. It's a really interesting lock. It's really good for your skills. There was quite a big full set there, so I think we're pretty well about at the stage where we have one side nearly picked, and hopefully that's it. Hopefully that was it. That was getting this side of the lock picked. I need to keep remembering to push these two, because just like that you can hang up on them quite spectacularly, and that's a real pain. So let's have a look at this side, just see where we're at. Don't think I've set the rear pin there. Okay, not quite. So now we've got an awful lot of rotation on, and hopefully, oh, not quite, hopefully our last couple of pins will engage and we can call it picked. But not 100% sure we've got that. So let's have a look. Let's just ease up on the tension. And okay, I'm still on. By looking at the movement of this, I've definitely got this sidebar done, but not this one. The movement's a little bit uneven, so I'm just going to ease up a tiny bit more and see if that hasn't allowed something that was overset drop. It might be. I hadn't quite set that rearmost lever there, so let's have a little eased up. Let's see what's sprung back. Might be wrong, it might be that we haven't quite set the left hand side and I'm misinterpreting the feedback. It's always, these things are always a possibility. Ah, rats. They've just had lots of clicking. Let's see. Yeah. So I've just dropped an awful lot of levers there, just slightly frustrating. So let's go around again just to see what we've got. Now just check that pin there, and check this pin here, which is very deep. Okay. Check those again. All right. Let's go through. Not using masses of tension here, just enough really. Like most things, it's a bit of a compromise, and I'm still jiggle testing. I'm still testing in pretty well the same way as you'd test for any old lock. I'm looking for movement, looking for the way that those levers behave. Okay, a bit more of a turn there, whoops. A bit more out of that. Let's just go down and have a look at these ones. That's better. I think I was hung up on the back right hand pin down there. And with a bit of luck, we'll soon be open. Let's just go through and make sure everything is tucked away. Behaves very much like a tapered lock, this, in that you have to kind of go back and just keep checking stuff which you thought you had set a while before. So now then, we've got a big old full set on. Just swapping picks for a second just to give me a bit more reach. I'm not sure. There we go. I was going to say I'm not sure, but I think it's that rearmost one. So we've got a bit of a turn, and now this pin here is just caught in the other locating pin. So there you are, that's the full. So let's pop this, oops, sorry for the camera shake there. Let's just pop this back again. And then let's have it apart and have a little bit of a look and see what it looks like inside. So this is obviously like a drawer lock or a cabinet lock. It's a nice kit, incredibly high security for the kind of lock that it is. I'm just going to turn off my amplifier here so you don't get any more of those nasty noises. Alright, so here it is. I'm just going to move my thing out of the way, being a little bit careful not to lose the body from shot. You can see those two springy pins, look, in there. We were having to check as we were going, and now I'm going to slide body out. Alright. A couple of bits and pieces in there. We'll have a little look in a second, but let's have a look at this. So there are those two pins. Just going to take those out, pop those on the desk, and you can kind of see the little ball bearings in there. Let's bring you up and hope the camera focuses. There we go. We can see a little ball bearing down there and the lever it's attached to. I can't really take this apart much more than we have, because actually it sort of doesn't come apart much more. I'd have to spend quite a bit of time taking out things like this, and then there's a pin that comes out, various other bits and pieces, in order for you to be able to start removing these sprung levers. So here's the sidebar. There's two identical sidebars. They're sprung, look. Oops, just dropped the spring, there it is. They're sprung, and you can see now some of those gates and false gates. Let's get a bit of focus on the camera. And let's take that one out. A couple of springs. It's a very nice lock. And let's have a look at this. So focus, sorry about the focusing. So if I push this key in, you'll see that these levers turn, and you can see the false and the true gates. So these are the true gates, obviously, the key fully inserted, and you can see hopefully that this rearmost one doesn't have any false gates, but all of the rest do. So let's try and highlight one of those. So this here is this little bit here is a false gate, and actually there's another one here, look. So we're right on a false gate at this point, and they grab really hard. So here are two false gates. So there's another little false gate there, look. And if you overset these things, so let's see if we can find a lever that let you overset. So this one here, we could easily overset. And if I can just pull this around, we can overset into a false gate as well, look. So if you overset, they're really, really, really difficult to recover from. Let's just have a look at the other side. You can see the other side is the same sort of thing again. You've got little springs here, a little rotating lever, and the same old mechanism. So let's go in and let's push on one of those little ball bearings, and we can rotate this thing around and go from unset into a false gate and then into the gate itself. And you can see on this lever as well, if I over rotate it, I go into another false gate. So really, really good security, really nice bit of kit, and I have to say a really fun and interesting lock to learn how to pick. A couple of other things. This one's got a couple of steel plates in the front, so I'll push those out just to show you those. So they're little hardened plates for anti-drill or for drill protection, and you can kind of see now, I've taken that out, that little bar in there is the bar around which the levers are pivoting. Finally, let's have a look inside of this. You can see there are the sections for those sidebars, sorry. So they're the grooves for the sidebar. And you can see in here the two little detents, those front pins. And actually there's two more there, look, which is interesting. Which I don't know the function of those. My guess is that this is made as a symmetrical casting or a symmetrical product, and then one of the last stages, it must be to relieve this section here, or that part of the key, okay, that depresses those little things into their detent. So that is the Fichet 484. This has been a video by Gravity Karma for Lock Picking United. Subscribe, have a look, do request videos if you want, because we're really happy to make different things, stuff that you might want to hear, stuff that you might want to see picked, or if you want any particular kind of instructional video, then we're always up for it. Why not pop over, say hello to myself or any of the other guys that are making content for the channel over on either the Reddit or ideally the Discord. That's where certainly some of us hang out more than in other places. So that's the Fichet 484. Thank you very much indeed.